Hello. Today, we're going to be playing some Stardew Valley. We're going to be playing more of my JoJo world. I've forgotten. Is it this one? Oh, it's this one. I forgot to change my PNG YouTuber. But let me change back to this one before we head up into Stardew Valley because I want to do some yapping. I want to do some yapping about my weekend and stuff. I've got a little bit to yap about, but I promise it's not as much as last week. I tell you that. We yapped for so long last Sunday? While we were playing episode 3 of was it episode 3? Yeah, episode 4 of Sally Face, because we streamed episode 5 on Thursday and finished it. I do want to do like maybe another playthrough of not Stardew Valley. I want to do another playthrough of Sally Face. At some point, maybe what I'll do is do another playthrough of Cabernet and then do another playthrough of Sally Face, because I want to do a playthrough of Sally Face where I just completely follow a guide, get all the achievements, and yeah. So yeah. How you guys doing? Okay, I'm gonna work my way backwards from Sunday to Friday. Okay, because I feel like that makes sense. But so today I was in work. The reason is because I switched my shift because originally I was meant to be, my manager originally put me my manager hadn't put my shift on. My manager hadn't started on my shifts for this week yet. So last week I asked my supervisor, being like, hey, I can't work, but usually I'll be put on the Saturdays, right? But I was like, my birthday's next week, I don't want to work on my birthday, so I had plans next Saturday with my mum and like a few family members and stuff. We're gonna go crazy golfing next week. I'll tell you all about it next Sunday. But yeah, my actual manager wasn't in last Saturday, but it was my supervisor. So I told my supervisor, hello, can you tell manager that I can't work on I think I said this on Thursday. I think I said this on Thursday actually, but I was like, hello, I can't work next Saturday. Can you put me in on Sunday instead? Because I can't remember if I told you guys this or my mum this. But yeah, I said to her, hey, can I be put in on Sunday instead of Saturday? Because basically our weeks on our app run Sunday to Saturday instead of like Monday to Sunday. So yeah. See, I work today, which is why stream is like half an hour later. So yeah, which is why stream is like half an hour later than usual. So yeah. So I worked today. It wasn't a bad shift, honestly. I was working with my assistant manager and then one of my other co-workers. So yeah. It was actually kind of a chill shift. It wasn't that busy. The football might have been on or something, I don't know. So yeah, what did I do on today's shift? I was on the till for like the first half of my shift and just sorting out like the fitting rooms and stuff. And then for like the second half of my shift, I was putting out some stock. I was putting out some like men's stuff and like some underwear and some swimsuits. Because we've just after we just started getting our like spring and summer stock out. Probably like 2 or 3 weeks, like 3 weeks ago, I think. So yeah. I mean, we do still have a little bit of Christmas stock left that's like gone on sale, but like I think two people bought like Christmas pajamas like like just after they went on sale last month. Before we put the Christmas pajamas like away and like send them back. Because I don't think we sold all of them. I don't know if we sold all of them actually, but we still do have like a little, just little pieces of shit basically. The stuff that like just like little bits of jewelry and stuff like that. And just Christmassy themed jewelry and just little knickknacks and stuff. So yeah, we have that on sale. Yeah, we have that on sale. But no one's bought it. So I have a feeling that we're gonna end up just getting rid of the Christmas stock because no one's buying it. I've been in work all weekend. To be fair, I only worked 4-hour shifts, but still, like, come on, no one's really buying that. Like, people mainly buy like Christmas pajamas, but no one really buys Christmas jewelry, I guess. Like, unless you're like a really, really big fan of Christmas, then no one's really buying it. So, and even that, I don't even think we just have like some generic winter themed ones, like snowflake earrings or something. I think it's very much Christmas themed, so it's not even like, oh, you can just wear out some snowflake earrings, in like November. It's like very much, oh, wear this in December, like end of December, otherwise you're gonna look like a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I'm feeling that we're gonna just end up getting rid of like all our Christmas stock, or just have a ton of Christmas stock all throughout the summer. So yeah, but yeah, I feel like we are gonna get rid of it because I actually don't remember last year us having like a lot of Christmas stock left. I've been at my job like 2 years, so I've done like 2 Christmases. So yeah, I don't actually remember us like having a lot of Christmas stock left, other than like maybe a few pairs of pajamas. But yeah, but even then, like I said, our Christmas pajamas tend to do like decently well, like after Christmas, because that's when we put our like Boxing Day sale on. So yeah, and then yesterday I was in work as well. That went smoothly. I don't think we had an issue. Oh yeah, we have been having an issue again with the parcels. So basically, for some reason, like our system for click and collects like updated, and for some reason it's been sending out emails to like people who have already picked up their order, and saying like, oh, you have an order to collect. Like for example, one person came in yesterday who had driven all the way from another town, being like, I didn't get the full context because my supervisor was dealing with her before I started my shift. This was like right at the start of my shift. And I went on the till, and then this customer started complaining to me, saying something about how she drove all the way here. We don't have a parcel, even though we don't know. And she was just complaining about that. She drove over all the way here for a parcel that didn't even exist. And when she just kept complaining to me, and I was like, oh really? Because I didn't have the full context of the situation to begin with. So I was like, oh yeah, I understand that must be really hard, but I don't know if there's anything we could do, because I kind of knew that my supervisor had already dealt with her. I knew my supervisor had just dealt with her, so I knew this is like the aftermath of a conversation. She was just complaining to me. So yeah, and then after she left, my supervisor told me she's already collected her parcel like weeks ago, like last month. And basically what she said is that she ordered it in December, it got delivered in like end of December, and she already collected it. The thing is, okay, two things. First of all, she already collected it. She could have just called our store being like, hey, I got an email about a parcel. I didn't order anything else. Like, she knows what she ordered. So if you've not ordered anything else since December, why are you calling all the way to the store asking about parcel, which didn't exist? Like, it was just a technical glitch. So yeah, and then also, second thing, if she's only just coming in for a parcel that would have said an email that it was delivered in December, it would have expired, because we give customers like 28 days, like almost a month, like 4 weeks to come and collect their parcels before I think we have to send them back to like the warehouses or something, because obviously we can't hold on to like uncollected stock forever, you know. So I think we send them back. So like, even if you know there was a parcel, and even if there was another parcel that also got delivered in December and that she didn't collect, and she's only just got the email for, we would have already sent it back. Like, why are you complaining about parcel that you didn't order? And it's just like a technical glitch on our system. Like, yeah, it's a glitch on our system, but we can't do anything about like a glitch in our system that happens after we update it, you know? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? And then we had another separate customer call up about getting an email. Luckily, I think she was much nicer. She called, I think my manager picked up the phone, so I didn't know what the full conversation, but my manager just explained, hey, we've had a glitch in our system once it updated. And obviously like we can't call, I don't know how many people it emailed, so we can't just call like everyone that's like ordered through the website, you know. That's like so many people, and obviously like GDPR and shit, we probably don't have their emails, their phone numbers, all their phone numbers in our system, because the website is run by like different people compared to, you know, the store. So yeah, we just can't go around calling everyone or like texting. We can't just go around calling everyone being like, hey, update to our system. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, they could have just sent out like a mass text, because you know, they sent out an email. I don't know how many people are affected, so I don't know the full situation. But that other customer should have just called up, because again, she knows what she's ordered. And if she hasn't ordered anything since December, which I'm assuming she hasn't, because she got an email about the parcel that, you know, was delivered in December, then why did you come from a whole other town? That's like, how long is it? I think I remember the town she came from. How long away is it? It's 20 minutes away. It's 20 minutes away from where I work. Just complaining as if it was like an hour away. Like, it's 20 minutes. Come on. Like, you wasted like less than an hour of your life, like going from town and then going back home. Like, come on. So yeah, like, I do understand her frustration a little bit, but I do think the situation is a little bit ridiculous, you know. So yeah. And then yesterday I also watched Casualty with my mum. I probably won't be yapping too much about this episode, because I don't know how to feel about this episode. I did like the content within the episode, but I think this episode didn't really have like a focus person. Like last week's episode was like very much a focus on Matty and Kim. Matty, Kim, Dylan, and Flynn, right? Those were like our 4 main characters of last week's episode. And then the week before that, I think it was Siobhan's episode, right? But this episode didn't really have like a focal main character. Like, we had everyone complain about Flynn because obviously he's a dickhead. He's a dickhead. He's just a dick. I hate him. I hate Flynn. Okay, I hate. What's his name? Flynn Byron. Hate that guy. Least favorite character. Big hater of him. But yeah, I think I don't think I liked that it didn't really have too much of a focused character. Though there was a little bit more Rash content this week, which I did like. I did enjoy. Rash is a character that I'm quite fond of her. Cause I remember around the time I stopped watching it, he was still new. So I only really got like a little bit of his character. I really only like, got to know his character a little bit before I like completely stopped watching Casualty. I stopped, basically for context, in case you guys are new here, Casualty is like probably one of the longest running medical dramas here in England, right? It's been going on since '86. I started watching it in like 2017. And then I stopped watching it like 2019-ish. Then I stopped watching like 2019. So around this time, like 2019, 2020, at this point, Rash had just joined the cast. So, and I didn't really get to know, I got to know him a little bit, but not too much, Oh my god, my fucking chair. Again, broken footrest. But I didn't get to know him as much. I didn't really get to know him that well. But recently, since I've only started getting back into Casualty very, very recently, and I do enjoy his character. I started watching it on season 40, right? I started watching it again on season 40, right? So I don't remember which seasons I watched previously. I think it was like I watched quite a few like reruns, so like mid-season. I think I watched like the season 20s. We watched Casualty a lot, so I think we started on like the mid-season 20s. Because I remember a few weeks, like last month, I tried to find an episode that I watched, like the first episode I ever watched of Casualty, that I vividly remember. And I think we came on to the conclusion that it was like an episode from like season 23, I think. So yeah, so we started watching season 23, watched up until the 2019 season where Duffy gets diagnosed with dementia. And we didn't watch all the episodes, by the way. We watched I would watch like a few episodes, so I didn't watch like every single season. Like in between like season 23 and like the season 30, I think. Like season 30 odd. So yeah, I watched like a few episodes from like each season. So yeah. But recently, I started watching on season 40, so like the last few episodes of Supply and Demand, which had a lot of Rash in it, so which I did enjoy because I do love Rash. So I kept calling him Nash for the first like little while. For like the first few weeks of me starting getting back into Casualty, probably because of Stevie Nash. She's another character in the show who I absolutely love. And obviously her last name is very similar to Rash's first name. So yeah. But yeah, I did enjoy that there was more Rash in this episode. And then in this episode, I felt like maybe Stevie was a little bit too harsh on Kim. Like, I think there was a patient who I don't remember which patient it was. I think it was one of the car crash patients that Kim and Stevie were dealing with, and I think they just got news. I can't remember if they just got news on that the brother had died. That the brother had died. Spoilers for this week's casualty episode, by the way. But I think they had just got news that the brother had died, and Kim said, "Hey, have we got?" It said something along the lines of like, "Hey, have we got in contact with the parents?" And Stevie was just like, "Focus on the patient." She is Kim's focusing on the patient. Kim was focusing on the patient. What are you on about? Like, she was just worried. She was just wondering if they got in contact with the patient's parents, because the patient was like a kid. Was like a kid, teenager. So like, like, I feel like that's a very reasonable situation. I feel like that's a very reasonable question to ask in that scenario. I don't know if I'm overreacting or not to that little snippet. But yeah, I do feel like Stevie overreacted. Not overreacted, but like was a bit too harsh on Kim. This episode. I do understand where she's coming from. When Kim like took a break and Stevie was like, "Hey, we can't have you like just disappearing for like 5 minutes." You know what I mean? I feel like that was understandable, but I feel like for most of the episode she was a bit harsh, because obviously Stevie at this moment in time doesn't know about Kim's eating disorder. So yeah, I do understand that comment. I do understand her saying, "Hey, we can't have you disappearing for 5 minutes." I do understand that, but I feel like for like a large portion of the episode, Stevie was a bit too harsh on Kim. Like I understand like Stevie like needs to push Kim a little bit, because with Kim, she knows what to do in a situation. She knows what to do. She's a very smart character, but she just like doesn't like push herself to actually do the thing, you know. So yeah, and then yeah. But overall like Stevie and Kim's dynamic. It's just I feel like Stevie was a little bit too harsh this episode. I wish we got more Nicole. I do love Nicole, but I do understand that she has had a lot of focus. Like start of like she did get a lot of focus. I know she got a lot of focus within Supply and Demand. I haven't watched all Supply and Demand, because it was like I watched the last few episodes of Supply and Demand. I know she's gotten quite a bit of focus in like the last few, like what they call like box sets, like little mini series. I'm gonna call them like little mini series within like the actual season. But yeah, I know she has gotten a lot of focus with her relationship with Ngozi. And she did that kind of relationship kind of very much wrapped up like at the start of Supply and Demand. So I understand like her character taking a little bit of a backseat to, you know, have more of a focus on like Kim and Matty and Dylan and like Stevie. So yeah, and to have more focus on like Siobhan, for example. So yeah, I don't mind it. I just wish there was more Nicole. But obviously there's only so much you can put into like a 50-minute episode, like a 40-50 minute episode, you know. But yeah, and then who else? Oh yeah, probably one of the like biggest, like probably two of the biggest, like not revelations, because we already knew these things from the last couple of episodes, but like revelations to the other characters is that Dylan finally told Matty that he's his dad, and that Ian finally told Faith. Ian told Faith that he cheated on her. I'm glad. Okay, let me focus on the Ian and Faith thing, because I feel like I have a bit more to say. I have a little bit more to say. I feel like I want to go more of a rant. I got a bit more of a rant with Dylan and Matty. So let's get Ian and Faith out of the way. I do quite like. I do think it was a good idea to have Ian tell Faith immediately that he cheated on her, cause like Ian said, you know, Ian was the one that was one that was like, hey, I do love you, maybe we should try and work this out before we, you know, get a divorce. You know, that was on Ian. And then Faith told Ian that she's pregnant. Ian got drunk, cheated on her. Right. So I do feel like Ian does love Faith. So I feel like, you know, it's very in character for him to be like, hey, I cheated on you when I was drunk, you know? So, yeah. I don't know Faith that well as a character to say if she will divorce him or not. Because again, I haven't watched a lot of like more recent Casualty. Again, I stopped watching in 2019. This was like before Faith joined, or like before Faith was like really a main character. So again, I don't really know her as a character, and I still don't have much of an opinion on Faith. I do like her as a character, it's just I don't really have much of an opinion on her because she hasn't really gotten too much of a focus. So yeah. And then moving on to the Dylan and Matty thing. I feel like I don't remember much of what they said, but I feel like with Dylan and Matty, like Matty, I understand why I understand why Matty's pissed at Dylan, because Dylan was kind of like being weird around him this episode. So I understand why Matty would be, you know, a bit pissed at him. And obviously with like what his mum had told him, being like, oh, he was an alcoholic, he wouldn't have been a good dad, you know. I understand why Matty would be pissed at Dylan, right? But I feel like I'm gonna be a bit of a Dylan defender here. I do love Dylan. I feel like Dylan I do feel like Dylan should have tried to explain himself a bit better. But yeah, obviously Dylan didn't know that his ex was pregnant, right? He didn't know. Like, she didn't tell him, right? So like obviously he couldn't be in Matty's life. He couldn't have had a choice in Matty's life. You know, we don't know what Dylan would have done. Like, I don't know. Even though Dylan's been in it a while, he's been in it for like 15 years now, so obviously I already had opinions on Dylan as a character, like, before I stopped watching Casualty. Before I took like my 7 year long break of watching Casualty. I do like Dylan as a character, but I don't know what he would have done, because I don't know much of what Dylan was like in his like college university days. You know, cause I haven't watched any episodes, or I don't remember watching any episodes that kind of like did a flashback towards Dylan, you know. So yeah, I don't know much of what Dylan was like. I don't know much of what Dylan was like, and I'm gonna get into Stardew Valley while I'm yapping about this, because I have a feeling now that we're gonna be playing the Yapping for a while. Yeah, we don't know much about what Dylan was like. Well, I don't know much of what Dylan was like pre. Oh, this is already watched it. Like, I don't know much of what Dylan was like in his university days. So I can't say what he would have done. Would he have raised Matty? I feel like he would have wanted to. I just don't know whether he would have been like. I just don't know whether he would have like stopped drinking as much. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm kind of trying to say? You know, I have no idea what he would have done. So, yeah. So yeah, I understand why Matty's pissed. And I feel like, yeah. And we don't know, like, yeah. Yeah, I feel like in the coming episodes, in like the future episodes, they're gonna maybe have, maybe have a confrontation with Dylan's ex to see why she didn't tell him that she was pregnant with Matty. So yeah. And hey Zach, welcome in. How you doing? We were just yapping about a British medical show that I watch called Casualty. We were yapping about the most recent episodes, yeah. Well, come on in. How you doing? Yeah, I don't know what he would have. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I do feel like Matty was kind of like justified in his reasoning for being pissed. I feel like Dylan could have explained himself a little bit better in that argument. So yeah, good. I'm glad. But yeah, I feel like yeah. And then what else happened in this episode? There was Siobhan's scene with Cam, Rita, and what's her name, Jodie. I do want more Jodie scenes because we haven't really had, well, ever since I started getting back into it, we haven't really had many Jodie scenes. I do seem to like her. I do seem to like that little trio of like Jodie, Rita, and Cam. Those three are like besties. I love those three. But I haven't really gotten to know those three as well as like the others. Like either that being, you know, the ones that were in it when I stopped watching it previously, or, you know, the ones that I've gotten like a little bit more of a focus, such as the ones that I've gotten like a little bit more of a focus since I started watching it again, like Nicole, for example, or like Matty and Kim, for example. You know. So yeah, I do want more focus on like that little trio. So yeah.